Well, welcome back. As you can see, the Landrover's been painted in the front. All the chassis all nicely painted now. It's had two coats. The paint I use is a military paint. The reason I use it rather than this Hammerite is that it's easy to brush on and roll on. I use a little roller. You can see it gives a really nice finish. And also the best thing about it as well, you can actually overpaint it. With the Hammerite, once it's brushed on, you can't brush it back again. And also it's very slow drying, so you can actually sort of go over it a few times and it doesn't mess the finish up. I've started putting bits and pieces back together on the chassis. As you can see, we need to wipe that off a little bit, but that's one of the bushes I've actually pushed back in there. It's a brand new bush there. That side there had the original two-piece one, so there's like two bushes in there. Now I've changed it over for the one-piece one. And again, on this side, so I've decided to wipe a bit anti-seize grease off. That one's in there, ready to go back on. So back on, it's actually in there. The front springs, I've actually taken both of them completely apart. I've cleaned them all up, wire wheeled them and flat wheeled them and all sorts of stuff. And in between the leaves, I don't know if you can see it or not there, I've put anti-seize grease as well. That's the aluminium type rather than the copper slip, only because I had it. So to get the springs apart was a bit of a pain because these tabs here, I haven't got any oxyacetylene, so I just do it cold. So I just put a chisel on there, bent them up either way, and managed to get them apart. And they actually went back together alright. So I'm not sure how many times you can do that before they snap off, but they're actually fine at the moment. Obviously the front of the springs up here, I've had new bushes in there. If I had new bushes, I'll put new bushes in there. These little spaces in there, I had to get some tube because they're all rusty. I've replaced them with 10mm bolts rather than UNF bolts, or 3/8 UNF bolts. So as you can see, they're all quite nice now. They're just ready to go back in. Obviously they can go on there with the shackles. I had to buy one more shackle because one of the shackles had the threads was actually seized in it. I also sort of messed about trying to take it all out, but it was about £4.50, so ridiculous. So I bought one of the shackles, so they go back in tomorrow. These holes here, I think these are for the bulkhead. They look a bit rusty, but I'll give them a good clean out. Obviously top shock mount, it's all ready to go. Oh, that's fell over there. Steering relay, I didn't really do a great deal with that because I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and they're a bit of a pain in the arse to get out. And there's no sort of game with them anyway, so the only thing I did do there was this holding in plate there. The original one was all rusty, so I cut it right across there, ground it all back and welded a new one in there, and that sort of comes with some nice new, again, metric bolts. What else we got around here? Oh yeah, the master cylinder that I had a lot of problems with in the past. I've actually fitted it now. But you can see I've got the other pipe to go in there for the reservoir, but these coppers are all done there. Master cylinder's all bolted in there. I had to weld in a plate in there and with a hole in some studs. So that's on another video anyway. But so that braking system's all done right up to this connector block now. The next thing to do now is run the brake pipes from here on top of the chassis, curl it round for the brake pipes there, and the same on the other side, but it has to go across the cross member. And so on. This little grommet there is basically for the wiring loom. I'm pretty convinced that's where the wiring loom goes. I've actually threaded this right way through the chassis, right to the back, and it comes out through another grommet. So that's all ready for the wiring loom when we come to go. The other parts I've done here, or getting ready now, is for the brake pedal, or the clutch pedal, brake pedal, and the little, they call it, everything's called a relay on these things. The clutch relay goes in there, and obviously the connecting rod goes onto here. I've cleaned all these out. I've got to clean them up again to put some paint on them, but there's a grease nipple on there now. So that's all ready to go back together. I've painted the pedals again, so they should look nice. So what else we got? There's nothing else. Oh, the handbrake. Again, that's all connected up now. That's all done. So next thing I'll do really is, like I said, do the brake pipes, finish all them off, do both the brake pedals, one clutch pedal, one brake pedal. Once they're all back in and look nice and greased up, the next thing I'm going to do is get the engine and gearbox in. I'm not going to put, well, say next thing, I will hang the springs on the shackles, but I'm not going to put the front axle in because the space is a bit tight in this garage, so I thought it would be better really just to try and get all the engine and gearbox in, and with that it gives me a nice bit of room to walk around and fiddle it around. But the other thing I've got to try and work out is the engine mounts and gearbox mounts, because the gearbox mounts and the engine mounts are apparently the same, but the original Land Rover series ones, they work out about £80–90 a pair. So it's just about £180 odd to put the engine and gearbox in. But I've been reading a lot of forums, and it does say you can actually use the other type of ones. I'm not sure where they are. Oh yeah, not actually these ones, but some very similar. Some will maybe use 4 of them, but I know I will have to sort of make some adapters somewhere, because over there's a big hole which should only be like a 10mm hole. So I'll overcome that when I come to it. So that's pretty much it at the moment. So hopefully next time we see it should be, springs should be in, clutch and brake pedal will be in, brake lines will be run, and I'll be thinking about the engine and gearbox, which will be, I'm not sure how easy that's going to go in, but we'll soon find out. But I don't think there's anything else I need to do before I put it in, because there can't be nothing else in inside. Oh, the other thing I was going to do, because you might have noticed at the front here, I've taken the battery box off. I'm actually going to, I don't want the battery box there, or the battery. I'm going to try and put it underneath the seat there somewhere. I think there's a seat box that goes on there. I'm pretty sure that's what these are for, and they must bolt onto these holes along there. I'm sure they must. So once the seat box is all pinned in, I'll have a look, see if I can get the new battery tray. And it does look, there's a sort of a gap sort of here. I might be able to get one in. Anyway, time will tell. So as soon as I get the battery box, the seat box back in, I'll make something up and go from there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.